Hey guys, I thought I'd be making another video on Life is Strange, or Fighting for Life. So basically I'm going to continue the story, obviously, if I get 100 views, and it's already at 99. And I honestly didn't think I was going to make 100 views, so it's great that I made 100 views. I'm really excited for Fighting for Life 2, which is basically going to be based on the video game Life is Strange 2, and the whole say philosophy around the characters and the story of growing up. Because I feel like when you're growing up as a man and becoming a man, there's a certain time period where you have to part from your mother and part from your father, and even even girls have to do this, but more so guys, because you have to learn how to create your own masculinity, create your own, I guess, like, confidence. You gotta create your own confidence and build yourself up. Especially, there's an old law, basically created by the Spartans in the old Greek world, where they would take 12 and 10-year-olds and rip them from their home, take them away from their mother and their father, and they would throw them out into the wilderness to where they would have to survive and steal and fight and even take punishment for stealing and stuff like that. In order for them to become a man, they had to do this for a good 5 or 6 years before they would go home and be granted, the gift of being a warrior, being a Spartan. And that's the reason why I like the character of Daniel, especially besides the fact that he's the one with the powers and everything. But he lost his father, and both children have lost their mother, and mother is gone. So he's in his own way living the life of a Spartan. Now Sean is a different character, especially where he's 18. He's having to take care of his own little brother out as they're taking this world trip to Mexico, and he's having to fight his own battle when it's coming to becoming an adult. There's this book I once read called The Threadbare Sutra. I think that's how you say it. It's a very interesting language to read, but it's about growing up and becoming a man and facing procrastination. And it says that procrastination is the lion inside of you growing and building up. So basically, as you're growing up and becoming an adult, you're a camel, and a camel is basically giving all these supposed to. You're supposed to clean your room. You're supposed to, do your homework. You're supposed to do what you're told to do, so on and so forth. And they keep putting all this stuff on your back because you're a camel and you're a beast of burden. You're giving all this loads of crap. And as an adult, you're supposed to venture off into the desert, and which is, stepping out of the home, getting out of high school, graduating, getting away from your parents. And as a camel, you're supposed to face this dragon that comes along, and on this dragon there's all these scales that have all the things that the world has built upon you, the beliefs your parents have built upon you, to face as an adult, and to decide whether or not you want to have your own beliefs. Decide which woman you want to date, or what man you want to date, according to your gender or whatever. But this dragon's called Thou Shalt, and on each one of those scales is, supposed to. And he comes along. He's a very challenging opponent, I guess, in a way. And and it's your job to kill this dragon and become a lion. And a lion is very different in the sense that he is I will and no. I basically will become an adult. I will live the way I want to live. I will choose my beliefs. I will choose to do this. And no, I don't have to follow your supposed to's. It's a very rebellious sense you're going into. And he's lying. You know you're a lion. You're the king of the jungle. You would starve before you would let somebody tell you, you know, what to do or how to live. Because, you know, you've earned that right. Killed that dragon. You don't need to fucking, you know, do what anybody tells you to do. And that is the in my mind, that is what Sean is going through with taking care of his brother and becoming an adult in a sense. And I will definitely pick up on that as I'm writing the fan fiction. With Alex being the character that he is, I purposely wrote him to where I wanted to make him be like an asshole in a sense, because I felt like we have as characters a lot of people who are being the black and white hero of the story, or you know, the power of friendship or whatever, all that bullshit. I wanted to do something different. I wanted him to be like characters like Spawn and Guts, or Yojiro Hanma, these people that are like, they're monsters in their world, and what the world necessarily needs is not a hero but a monster to take care of and do these things that normal good people would do. And of course I would try to write stuff with shock value in there, like him tying somebody to a tree and beating them to death, or the fact that Jefferson was accused of raping and killing women or younger girls. References of drug trade, him being beaten nearly half to death, and I try to get as graphic as possible for just the shock value. And Fighting for Life 2 will definitely have shock value, but in the Life is Strange 2 format of creating the game, the creators wanted to go for a more realistic approach. Now, I necessarily can't do that because it's a fan fiction, and I've already hyped this character up to a point where the fighting scenes are just beyond ridiculous. So there's probably going to be a lot less combat, and I'm going to try to tackle it in my own way, and certain subjects of racism, you know, being gay, the feminist movement, basically these things. And I'm going to portray my beliefs through Alex, but at the same time try to, again, keep this a realistic world. So maybe because I try to live a very fine line with my beliefs, where I'm not going to necessarily agree with everybody, but I'm going to try to respect other people's beliefs where it comes to religion, their sex, whatever. And that's how I'm going to try to write Alex, as well as him finally becoming a hero, because in Fighting for Life Before the Storm, like I said, he was more written to be a monster in a world that needed that, like basically a good monster, an anti-hero, to where in the Fighting for Life 2 he will be more of a a hero figure, a father figure to these two children who obviously need a father because their father got killed. You should definitely play the Life is Strange 2 video game. It's amazing. And the writers of Life is Strange 2 said that they took Max and Chloe purposely out of there because they believe that there wasn't much to do anymore with the characters. I totally disagree with that. I think there's a lot more that can be done with those characters, especially with Rachel and them knowing that I have them alive in my fanfiction. And they even said, the creators said that they were going to leave it up to the fanfiction to continue their stories, which is, I guess, in a way makes Fighting for Life canon, or, you know, part of the actual mainline story, or whatever. But, I am going to have Max and Chloe and Rachel, I'm going to take it away from Arcadia Bay, because that's where the storyline goes. It goes away from Arcadia Bay. We're going to continue with Alex. There's going to be a continuation of the characters. He's going to be talking about them in dialogue and so on and so forth. And maybe towards the end, I'll finally start bringing in those characters and have my whole entire twist to the storyline. And there is going to be a fourth part. Whether or not they make a third game or not, I'm going to still have a fourth part come out. But that's going to be building up for a whole different character and his storyline. And I don't know what it is yet. I'm trying to keep him a mystery just as much as, you know, basically the guy at the end of Fighting for Life Before the Storm. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Ask me questions, anything you want to watch, anything you want to, you know about.